Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode. My name's Rowan Sanderson, and I'm the Chief Nutritional Officer here at Bella+Duke, and I am very excited to be covering when to start training your puppy with our very own super special Caroline Spencer, our natural canine behaviorist. And for those of you who are actually asking us lots of questions and Caroline about puppy training classes and Caroline's views on those, just as a quick heads up, at the end of this podcast, Caroline's going to be telling us and sharing with us her top tips for puppy classes, what to look for and what to avoid. So do keep listening to the end and you will get a sneak preview into Caroline's mega experience on this.
The Pet Health and Happiness Podcast from Bella+Duke, keeping you at the cutting edge of pet nutrition, behaviour and health with expert interviews, Mythbusters and more to help your pet lead a healthier, happier life.
First of all, what exactly is puppy training? Everybody talks about training. I mean, what are they, lifting weights? Are they going down the gym?
Yeah. To train anything is to give them the ability to perform a certain task. Okay, like retrieve or sniff out or with drugs, dogs or everything. And in my mind, it's very narrow and very simplistic, but in just teaching a skill. So my take is I prefer the process of education.
Okay.
And this is to educate, to develop an individual to be a really good citizen.
Okay.
So education and guidance is what it is for me, and to help them to become the best version of themselves and empower them to make great canine choices in our noisy, crowded human world, so they can fit in really comfortably.
So that's really interesting. And it does put an interesting new paradigm on the concept of training or education. So it often helps, I think, when you're embarking on a puppy project to know what the ultimate goal is. When you start educating a puppy, what is the ultimate goal that you have in mind? What's the vision?
The vision is to have a very well balanced, sociable dog that can fit into your world seamlessly.
Oh, and that is so interesting. I mean, you and I have had many a conversation about how to live harmoniously with our doggos and how we shouldn't be taking over and they shouldn't be taking over, and instead everybody knows their place. That's a really lovely perspective. There's obviously some pain points that you have to address when training a puppy. What are the 5 main things that you would address? What the 5 essentials, shall we say, for puppy education?
Yeah, well, the 5 essentials, this goes through whether you're talking about puppies, dogs, or people, is is to actually there less is more. It's the first one is what people come across is the inability to find the off switch and their rest switch, so they're actually ready to take in information and be able to work things out. If you haven't got a rested brain, then you at a hiding to nothing.
So if we were top 5 pain points, number 1 is ensuring that the puppy has sufficient rest.
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
the pain point is inability to settle.
Okay, I like this.
And second pain point for this is for us puppy guardians, is that your puppy is more interested in everything else out and about as they grow up than you.
So true. Sniffing,
So
exploring.
exploring and you know, everything is more interesting, and you're basically the taxi service. Having the puppy focus on you, so you're out there as a team.
Okay, man or woman and their dog. I like it. And of course, your number 3, recall, is so important as part of that, isn't it? Recall isn't remembering things. Recall is, Caroline?
coming back when you call them, but also having focus on you, and natural recall, and they're willing and want to be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Apart from anything else, it makes us feel really good.
Yes, absolutely.
So, moving swiftly on, what would be the number 4?
Number 4 is lead work, walking on a lead with a nice smiley lead without any tension on it, and your puppy stopping and starting with you and taking all the busyness in their stride without having to do any alarming behaviours that could cause them to be vulnerable or unsafe.
Right. Okay. Okay. I love that concept of a smiley lead. And anybody who's walked a dog that's been hustling to get somewhere will know how it feels to take the joy out of a walk with a dog running to the end of the lead of dragging you or having to be dragged, which are neither pleasurable for owner or companion.
Yeah,
So
indeed.
exactly, and it's, I know with Kismet when it's all walking seamlessly and she's just kind of following you as if she's kind of herding sheep, it's really, really nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
Um, so number 5.
Number 5 is puppy biting and nibbling, really, which
Oh.
is fairly straightforward to address when we don't get frustrated. But
Ah,
like with all these things, when we don't know what to do in a certain situation, we become frustrated. That frustration leads to puppy or dog frustration, and it all becomes really two poles apart.
okay. Okay. You would, I know you were telling me off camera that there is often a couple of reasons for these pain points. Can you just quickly take us through that, please?
Yeah, the two main reasons that I pinpoint for pain points is one, it comes from us. We expect far too much too soon from our puppies, expecting them to be mini adults before they've gone through the life stages, emotions and hormone surges and everything like that. Um, and so there's immense pressure to be something that they can't be right now. And the second one is from the puppy. They are growing up. We need They need time to take in all the information we're giving them. And if we rush too quickly, again, it's age appropriate. It needs to be age appropriate for them to help them move forward, consolidate and move forward.
Okay. Okay. That's really interesting. Tell me, um, on this note, speaking of age appropriate, when's the best time to start this puppy training education?
Yeah, well, they've been with their mother and their siblings. They've been learning all the time how to win and lose, how to get along with each other, and we just make that continuation. And in order to do that, we need to understand what they're saying by what they're doing and how they feel to be able to help them move forward in a canine way.
Okay, so when we say when and you say continuation, you basically mean immediately when they arrive, day one.
Yes, absolutely. They're talking to you. With everything they do, we need to understand where how they see our new world and help them through it. This is all part of education.
We've covered basically what the definition of training is and the 5 main pain points and the reasons for those. We've also covered when you can start this training, and the sneak answer really is very simply when your puppy arrives. But if I understand you and listening correctly, Caroline, it's all about understanding what the puppy is trying to tell you and avoiding putting pressure on the situation, instead letting that evolve, which is a really nice way to be. And the next point really is, what are the best things, your top few, um, for addressing these pain points when you're training your puppy? This is really where the rubber hits the road, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So, my number one is their inability to settle. We need rest. So, as I said before, for them to be able to take in information. The easiest way to get your puppy to sleep and rest is to take your attention off your puppy. Be in the same room, but you can be reading a book, you can be doing the washing up, you can be talking to one another. And when your puppy comes for attention, just put your hand on the side of the puppy, so he can feel your relaxation, can feel your calmness, but avert your eye contact and
Okay.
literally be non-verbal with that. If your puppy jumps up, then we just guide it down. So yeah, I hear you, I feel you, you're here, I love you, you're part of the family, but now is not your time.
Okay. And I think you may have mentioned in another podcast that actually dogs, particularly puppies, can find it very stimulating and even intimidating if you're staring at them anyway. So I guess this takes one of those stimuli off them. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And when we go into that, that is actually coming into my point 5 with puppy biting,
Cool.
how to prevent puppy biting. So
Okay.
yeah, pretty much so.
Cool. Well, back over to you then. So we've covered the letting them settle. What are the other things that people who've just got a puppy and listening to this podcast should be thinking about as your top tips?
Well, to make you the one they turn to make you the best thing since sliced bread, as opposed to everything and everything out and about. The world is about you. Start off in low stimulus areas. Now that is your house, your garden, and places away from all the hustle and bustle of dogs and people and cars, to forge a relationship, an understanding one, the one that you're going to keep them safe and also the best fun. You're the one that plays the games. This is all part of playing recall, playing lead work, playing finding toys, bringing them back. Everything is revolved around you. So we have to look at a puppy's world holistically, completely. Every behavior that they present us with is part of a conversation. So rather than looking at one specific behavior in isolation, it's a behavior is telling us how they feel at any one time. So we want them to feel all the good stuff is coming from us. Everything great comes from us. And then that's where you start building that bond. It takes time to build a relationship, and especially one of trust. And when we start to understand each other, your puppy understands you and vice versa. This is when we create a relationship, and you feel like you've got a little your dog's on a little piece of cotton.
Oh, bless
With
that little dog.
they're with you. They're with you mentally. Is what we're looking for.
Okay.
And then when
That's
they're with you mentally, they're with you physically.
I really, really love this. Generating a bond with my dog has been a huge upgrade in my life. And you gave me lots of cool tips to follow on this. Without interrupting too much, I'm going to let you flow because I know people are really keen to hear your other top tips.
Yeah. So especially we're going to my point number 3 about recall. Recall is a natural behavior that a puppy will present to its mother, and also to siblings. As the mother walks away, the puppy follows. So if we take a leaf out of mother's book, we can call our puppy, walk away. The puppy will naturally follow us. If we do a static recall and call the puppy has got no guidance of what to do. If you walk away, the puppy, I'll trot after you. And then it just happens naturally. So this is something, recall starts at home, in the house. It becomes natural. Every time you want to stroke your puppy, call it to you. Rather than setting aside a time for recall training, it is something that's in your puppy already. You just need to hone it towards you.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes such a great deal of amount of sense. And I really like the dynamic concept as well. We often see that. I guess that changes between breeds, but fortunately, with all the tips you've given me, it seems to be working for me so far, largely.
Yeah. Well, again, you're quite breedist. They all talk dog. Yeah, different breeds have different bolt-ons, but they can all do recall. Okay, there are more guardy breeds than others, but they can all guard, and so on and so forth. So yeah, they can, and of course they're different personalities, different characters, and we have to negotiate with some and not with others, and what have you. So yeah, it's understanding the individual puppy that is there in front of you that is paramount to creating this really super relationship that we all dream of. For the lead work, now for me, lead work is an extension of recall.
Okay.
You call your puppy to you, good little puppy. You walk on, good little puppy. You walk on again, good little puppy. So you're getting the puppy to follow you. And this is completely off lead, because if you put a lead on a puppy straight off and expect it to walk with you, the first thing it's going to do is pull against that force. So what you've inadvertently done is taught it to pull. So it's really important to do all this recall in the garden, in the house, in low-key areas. Just off lead, your puppy is not going to run away. If you're going to be the one he wants to come to, you build that bond over a couple of weeks at home and in the garden rather than going straight out, then if you're the one there to encourage them. And so we gradually put a harness on a dog, gradually put a trailing lead on the puppy, so you can pick it up if necessary, if things aren't going wrong. But yeah, walking with you is extension of recall. And if you expect your to train your puppy out on the street in front of you straight after he's had his injections to walk to heel, you are too much too soon, too quick, too much to take in, still a baby.
Okay. So golden is basically understanding your puppy, using the lead work as an extension of recall, and allowing the puppy to move with you and follow your pace.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole thing about being, because what happens is, at home your puppy follows you all the time when you don't ask it to. When you ask the puppy to follow you, it doesn't want to. So the whole process of getting your puppy to rest and relax when you're at home and follow you when you ask is only going to move you forward so much quicker when you're out and about. One big thing actually is biting. That's my big number 5.
Yeah.
We get our new puppies home and it's so lovely. We're so excited. And what we have to realize is actually it's a massive big leap for the little puppy.
Yeah.
So when we are too much, overbearing, cuddling, bring them close to our faces, they feel the world through their mouths, and they'll feel your chin in your ears. And especially if you loom down upon them, that can be very intimidating. So it is going to result in a nibble, a bite, a punch forward. So lovely for us to call puppies to us, lean back slightly, stroke them here, and keep it really calm, because it's the easiest thing in the world to whiz a puppy up mentally, physically, to get them overexcited. And when we're overexcited, we punch out, we bite, we scream. I don't know about you, Rowan. But when you're overexcited, you do demonstrative things. So just your puppy doesn't have to look buzzy to be happy. Your puppy is really happy when your puppy is calm and having a really lovely, gentle time with you. Happiness is calm shaped.
Yeah. Caroline, we've covered some really rich material here. Are there any just takeaway points that people should bring, maybe about themselves and the way they approach training? I know you often like to switch focus from the animal to the actual owner or guardian, which is really important. And anybody who's read your guides will understand this. But what would be your top points for a new puppy owner to look to in themselves and the way they address this?
Yeah. First and foremost, educate yourselves in the way of the canine. Everything they do is how they feel. Their behavior is communication. So we need to help them feel safe and understood. By understanding the language, we can help them through that. So, and the most important thing following that is be in touch with your emotions, because dogs mirror us, and how we feel is mirrored in our dogs. So if we're anxious, our dogs are going to be anxious. We always look at our end goal. I would love you to concentrate on the puppy and the dog you have today and move forward day by day, rather than looking at what you want ultimately. That will come. But patience and understanding is what they need beyond all else right now, right here and now. And it's about being calm. If everything is going wrong, just stop, breathe. Think about how you are feeling and go back to it another time. So, and important, people put an onus on how many times a day do I have to train my puppy. Your puppy is learning off you every second it's with you. So what you do and how you react or relate to the environment is how your puppy is going to react and relate to your environment too. So be that strong guide, the one who your puppy can look to feel safe, to feel understood, and to gel with.
Cool. That's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it all starts with you, how you are. But again, when you change you, everything changes around you. People change around you. It's always said that doesn't matter what someone says, it's how they make you feel that you walk away with.
Yeah, 100%. So I think we've pretty much covered everything there, haven't we?
I think we do.
I think that's a fairly comprehensive overview of pain points, why they're there, when to start your puppy education, and top tips. And for those people who aren't aware, Caroline has written a series of comprehensive puppy training guides about biting, about recall, etc. on our website. We will put those links in the show notes, so please do look at those. They get so many hits and are so well regarded. We see thousands of people coming to these, so please do dial in. It's all free and you're welcome to come and learn. Before we let you go, Caroline, we know this is not a controversial topic, but there's a lot of, shall we say, opposing opinions on it. Puppy training classes, what should people be looking for? What should they be avoiding?
Puppy training classes for me can be very overwhelming for certain personalities of puppies and people.
Okay.
So what I would, my preference is always to find a puppy friend or a sensible adult dog for your puppy to have doggy time. Mm-hmm. But also, education and fitting into our world starts at home. And so all you can do at home to help your puppy move forward slowly, gradually at their speed is so much more beneficial for them and for you. If you do go to a puppy class, do ensure that all the puppies are the same age, because some people will block puppies from age group them from 12 weeks to 12 months. Now you've got a whole heap of different age groups there with different issues going on. So if you do go to a puppy class, make sure there's no more than 6. It's in a big wide open space, and they're all about the same age. And also, what puppies want to do mostly, they don't want to sit, stay and heel for an hour. They want to play. So it's about learning how to be with each other and learning some really good canine skills.
Awesome. Caroline, thank you so much. I know you live, breathe and love dogs and training or education. You always bring a fresh perspective to this. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and I'm sure we're going to be having you on another episode very soon.
Indeed. Thank you very much. It's been good to chat.